And now for a geopolitical analysis on what's going on with the global military-industrial complex. China has announced a plan for a major reshuffling of the People's Liberation Army. The first major moves of the overhaul were announced recently as the PLA appointed a new Air Force commander and a new head to its General Political Department, which is responsible for Army morale, personnel changes, and loyalty to the Communist Party. In the past week, Beijing's political and military analysts have been waiting for clues about what the new changes might be, which will set the direction for China's 2.3 million strong armed forces for the next 5 years. China also plans to test a new anti-satellite weapon, but they are waiting until after the US election. US intelligence officials say the Dongning-2 anti-satellite missile, ASAT, can knock out strategic satellites in high Earth orbit. The missile is described as a high Earth orbit interceptor designed to destroy satellites by ramming them at high speeds. The intelligence report calls the new missile a strategically significant counter-space weapon. A recent intelligence assessment said the test was being delayed in an apparent effort to avoid upsetting President Barack Obama's re-election bid, which makes me wonder what their plans are if Romney is in fact the chosen one. The U.S. intelligence team expects the test to occur sometime in early to mid-November 2012. So what are the future international relations of the superpowers beyond this election going to be, which this election could potentially be in favor by the establishment of the New World Order of Mitt Romney, by the way, who has openly stated that Russia is a threat. This from January of this year.
Well, you think Russia's a bigger foe right now than, let's say, Iran or China or North Korea? Is that what you're suggesting, Governor?
Well, I'm saying in terms of a geopolitical opponent, the nation that lines up with the world's worst actors. Of course, the greatest threat that the world faces is a nuclear Iran, and nuclear North Korea is already troubling enough. But when these terrible actors pursue their course in the world, and we go to the United Nations looking for ways to stop them, when Assad, for instance, is murdering his own people, we go to the United Nations, and who is it that always stands up for the world's worst actors? It is always Russia, typically with China alongside. And so in terms of a geopolitical foe, a nation that's on the Security Council, that has the heft of the Security Council, and is, of course, a massive nuclear power, Russia is the geopolitical foe.
Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry says that an ICBM has been successfully test-fired. This as Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin says that Russia may deliver a technical response to NATO's plan to deploy a European missile defense program. Also, the largest U.S.-Israel missile defense drill is now underway. 1,000 American soldiers headed to Israel, and a further 2,000 U.S. troops in Europe and the United States are also taking part via remote defense computing systems. An equal number of Israeli soldiers are involved as well. During the drill, Israeli air defense systems such as the Iron Dome anti-rocket shield and Arrow 2 anti-ballistic missile batteries will be deployed, as well as U.S. and Israeli Patriot batteries. The IDF and U.S. military's European command will set up missile defense batteries across Israel. Most of the drill will involve computer simulations of incoming rockets, though in the last stage, a Patriot missile will be fired at a mock enemy projectile.